right?
And is it hard to fathom why a showdown that should bring out all those qualities that we've discussed endlessly about what showdowns do for Port Adelaide then doesn't appear tonight? That lack of attack on the ball, that lack of run, that lack of seeming desperation. Why would that be?
Oh, I think it was. I mean, it was clear that we were off, and we were a long way off, and Adelaide were right on, and you know they played a powerful game tonight, and we weren't up to standard on matching it, and for no other reason other than that was our performance that we delivered, and that's a really disappointing performance by us.
Can you understand why at this point that would happen?
No, I can't understand exactly why it would happen right now. You know, all I can reference back to is that it does happen, and you've just got to get over it and move on, and do your best to rectify it on review and get your next opportunity and make sure it's way better than that. Because a week ago was much better than tonight, but the two showdowns we've played in this year have been really disappointing, and Crows were better. I can't sugarcoat it, they were better.
How much of the damage was done, I guess, in the midfield of the clear?
A lot of it. Yeah, a lot of it was done, but I don't think there was one particular area tonight that we could sit there and say we're okay. I don't think there was one area, and I don't think there was one phase of the game that we could say we're okay. They were much better in offence, they were much better in defence, and they were certainly stronger and tougher around the contest. We got to live with that. We got to handle that. That's what we need to deal with.
There's going to be a lot of commentary again about Aaliyah and Jones, like there was last year with Butters and Jonas. Do you want to work us through how that played out and what decisions were made on the bench?
Oh, well, the only thing I can work you through is that it was played out through the right hands, and that was the doctor. And the doctor made those decisions based around both players, and he was really, really clear and really, really certain to me, and Aaliyah was too. With Aaliyah in particular, I can tell you, because I actually sat and spoke with Aaliyah, and Aaliyah spoke with me clear as he could be. The doctor was very, very comfortable that the situation was well and truly okay, and that he was able to go back on. As you said, he went back out there and played the whole game, so I don't think there's too many problems with Aaliyah other than he got beaten in badly, but he was getting beaten by Taylor Walker for a fair bit of the night.
Do you know how the decisions made as to whether you do a HIA or not? Do you know how
no, that's not my job. That's not my job to know, but the doctor, Mark Fisher, as you all know, is an incredibly experienced doctor, and he makes the right decisions that he needs to make.
Were you surprised that they didn't ask for a HIA with Aaliyah? Because it looked like the worst that happened with him, I guess, when he
Yeah, I can understand from your point of view that you might look at it, because again, as soon as he came off, I was absolutely surprised myself a little bit how clear he looked and how bright he looked. So I don't think Aaliyah had any issue himself, and I think if he was probably best if he was to sit here and answer how that came about. If I was treating Aaliyah from what I'd spoken to him, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't begin to treat him, but he was the same Aaliyah that I was talking to before the game as I was talking to when he was on the bench.
So did Lockie undergo a HIA, and did he fail it?
Or? No, Lockie didn't fail the concussion test, but he didn't come back on. We subbed him out. In fact, at the end, he basically was subbed out with a migraine, but he'd done the concussion test and he passed the concussion test. That's about all I can give you. And as I said, I don't sit on the concussion tests. I don't do them.
Ken, last time there was quite a fair reaction to a showdown loss. What do you expect this time, and what sort of perspective do you have about where you're at and what this result does?
Well, fortunately, the ladder looks the same. We've had a patch where we haven't been near what we were for a 13-week win, but we played 7 days ago. We played a really good game of footy, a really strong game of football. But tonight we just didn't handle it tonight. We didn't play well enough tonight to give ourselves, a chance. And that's what happened. We didn't give ourselves a chance, and there wasn't many players out there tonight that played for Port Adelaide that would be pleased with their performance.
Was illness a factor at all? There were some sick players during the week. Was illness
an
issue?
No. We had, like every club does at this time of year, if they go on the field, they're fine. We had a couple of boys had a bit of a sniffle. We kept them away deliberately in case that turned into anything more, but there was no more than that.
What about Bergman? I don't think he finished the game. He had some sort of groin issue. Is he okay?
Yeah, he came off with a bit of a hip that was bothering him throughout the last part of the play, but I would imagine he'll be okay, but I won't forecast that until I get all the information. But we in the end, the game was well and truly out of our hands, so we managed him pretty conservatively.
Given the Crows kind of came in a bit underdone in their defence and they lose another key defender as well, I guess how disappointing was it for you that you weren't able to exploit that? Again, all phases of the game tonight we were disappointed in. And that was one of the phases of the game because we had
more entries again, and we weren't able to maximise. But that was an outnumber game more than an individual one-on-one game. Crows were able to put a lot more numbers there than we were able to cope with.
Where's your ruck situation, Ken? What are you
We played
now?
very much a second game play tonight. I thought he actually competed pretty hard for us all night. Where ideally we would continue with a little bit more experience around that part of the ground, but sometimes that's taken out of your control. So that's one of our challenges.
Got any update on Lycett?
I think Scott would be hopeful to train this week and be available to play this next week. But again, he is a week-to-week proposition for us, so I'm not going to hide from that. That's exactly what he is.
Outside of Zach and Connor doing Zach and Connor things, with Francis Evans, I guess the one kind of positive you can take out of it?
I thought particularly Zach played with everything he had. I thought that was absolutely sure, and Connor tried pretty hard too. But what I love the most around Zach is he tries, regardless of the scoreboard, he tries the same way.
And with Francis Evans, 4 goals, I guess he looked like a bright spark out there.
Yeah, he was. He was able to be one of those few things that was done his job. He was efficient when he got an opportunity to score. He certainly was able to do that, and that's what Frank does. Frank's got that capability to hit the scoreboard for us. We understand that. We brought him to the club hoping that that's what he'd be able to do, and tonight was, as you said, was one of the few shining lights out there that completed his task.
You learned a lot about yourselves after the first showdown loss. What do you learn from this one, do you think?
Well, you've got to play well every week. You don't get a chance to be a half on and half off. That's what this competition says to everyone this weekend, not just us, but to everyone. You can't lose the fundamental, as I said to the boys, you can't lose contested possession that badly. You can't lose defensive pressure that badly, and you just can't lose the pressure itself in the game that poorly. When we were outplayed, I can't hide it. I'm not going to sit here and make up something. I'm going to tell you the facts was Adelaide were way better than us tonight, and they deserved the victory as much as I dislike that taste.
There's 3 losses in a row now. I guess is it concern? I guess it must be concerning.
Clearly it's concerning, but unfortunately, as I said, footy seasons are always made up of chunks. There's the team in the competition right now who are playing some really strong football, who lost a lot of games in a row early in the year. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, and they've got on runs. So that's what happens. You get your opportunity in a whole season to build your season, and we've done that really well to this point. We're in a little patch at the moment that we'd much rather not be in, but we won't be staying in this patch. We'll do everything we can to get out of this patch, and we'll continue on and qualify as high as we possibly can.
Just to be clear, Lockie's not in concussion protocols, and you'd expect him to play against the Cats?
I don't know whether he'll play against the Cats because he came off the ground with an issue, so we'll make sure we go through all that. We won't take... One thing you can be really certain around, this footy club won't take any risk with people's individual health. That's just not something we're going to do. I don't care who we play and when we play, we will do the right thing by the player first and foremost. And our doctor is incredibly experienced, and he will make sure that is the case. We won't be forcing anyone out there for anything other than the right reason, that is that they're medically cleared to play. Can't be any stronger than that.
Geelong next Saturday night. Do you relish the opportunity to get on the road after this last...
I don't relish Geelong at Geelong, but I look forward to the challenge to get ourselves back in form. No team, and for us, as I said, this weekend, unfortunately, it's been one of those rounds that we all sit back and go, what happened this weekend? Sides will have to come out of it, and we're going to be one of them. We're going to go to Geelong and take on a big challenge, but we're going to go there, and what we'll do, we'll build our way back into good form by working hard. There's no easy recipe when it comes to being a little bit out of form and being in form. You just need to keep working hard, and you've got to turn up to every challenge with the right attitude and make sure you give your absolute best, and we didn't do that tonight.
Stacks up to what you said 2 weeks ago, doesn't it? Beware of teams that still think they can play finals.
Well, competition's so... who knows what's going to happen in this season? I can't begin to... Anyone done a ladder predictor? Stick at it.